Hello, and welcome to Candidates Forum 2021. I'm your host, Larry Curtis, and we are pleased to have with us in studio today candidate for re-election to Ward 7 City Council, Shirley Asack. Shirley, welcome to Candidates Forum 2021.
Thank you for having me here. And first of all, thank you to yourself for interviewing and BCA for hosting these interviews. I think it's really important to get the residents, to let them know who we are.
Thank you.
And what we're about.
Yeah, we appreciate that. All right, Shirley, take a couple of minutes and tell us a little bit about why you should be re-elected as the Ward 7 City Council.
Why? I think I've proven I have proven leadership. I'm going into, this is my fifth election. And last year with everything that happened with COVID-19, I was council president, and I felt like I was able to keep us moving, keep city business moving, where other cities and towns kind of stopped, took a halt. I made sure that we moved forward, that good things are happening in the city of Brockton. And I talk about my proven, I think it's proven what I can do and what type of person I am. So, I love the city of Brockton. And I think that doing good things and working well with, my colleagues, working well with mayor, whoever mayor. This is my, I've worked with 3 different mayors. And, I believe in the process. I took an oath to follow the ordinances of the city of Brockton, and I uphold them, and I do my best to make sure that every decision I make isn't personal. It's really about what's best for the community and best for Brockton. So I put I ask the residents of the city of Brockton to re-elect me because I've done a lot, and I look forward to doing even more. Are we perfect? No. Can we do better? Yes. But I want to be a part of that. I think I don't have any special interests. I don't have any, any certain people that I answer to. I am independent and only answer to my constituents, the people who elect me to Ward 7.
All right. So one of our first questions we've asked all the councilors is, what do you believe is the most important issue facing the City Council today? Why, and what recommendations might you have moving forward?
So as far as any one specific issue, I don't have one that comes off of the top of my mind as a specific issue because every day with city business is it's new business.
Something different every day. Almost.
It is something different every day. The issues that are happening nationally are not necessarily the issues of the city. Right now we're constantly working with our budget, working with department heads, trying to make the best decisions for the city of Brockton. That's why I can't say there's one specific issue, but I know what's important is working together, because if we're not working together, then nothing gets done.
So the collaborative effort of all the councilors in the best interest of the city.
Exactly.
Okay, because that leads me into the next question, actually. So as a ward councilor, when you make a vote, normally you're voting in support of the overall improvement of the city. Okay. How would you vote if the vote you cast was not favorable to your ward, its constituents?
So if it wasn't favorable to my direct constituents, actually, to this date, it hasn't happened. With me, it's not personal. It's always been about what is best for the ward. So if I did receive calls telling me not to support it and not to support an issue or to support it, I really keep track of them, and I weigh which direction the residents want me to go in. And to this date, I've always voted in support of what the ward wants, the majority of my constituents. So if I have voted, and it has happened where maybe a handful or maybe 1 or 2 constituents weren't happy with the way I voted on a matter, they have called me and I have explained the reason for my vote, because there's always a reason. It's never, once again, it's never personal, and it's never for any special interest. It's for the best of the community. So once I explain that, the constituents usually they're fine with it, and
Okay.
they're good
And you're transparent in what you done, what you did at that point in time?
all the time.
Okay, all right. This is kind of a little off track a little bit, but 3 years ago, the city entered into a trash agreement that resulted in smaller trash containers. The decision resulted in homeowners having to purchase city-approved trash bags for the overflow. These bags have seen a 25% increase after the second year of service. Consumer trash bags can be purchased a lot less expensive. Why is the city required to use specific Brockton bags and not a more affordable trash bag?
Well, this question is very important to me because I was during the Mayor Carpenter, the late Mayor Carpenter was mayor, and he knew my passion for trash because I'm all about recycling and keeping our streets clean. So I was actually the city councilor that was able to sit down while we were renegotiating our trash contract.
Okay.
So our barrels are not smaller. Our trash contract is by ordinance. It's by ordinance. What happened throughout the past years is residents were using barrels that were larger than what the ordinance stated. So when we renewed we renegotiated our contract, there were multiple companies that gave us information that that were trying to get the new contract. But Republic Services actually offered us the best plan, and the residents didn't pay for the new trash barrels. I remember that was very important to the late Mayor Carpenter. He did not want to go up on any pricing with this new contract. So we didn't have to pay as residents for the barrels.
Okay.
I'm not saying their design is perfect, but they are by ordinance. They're actually a little bit larger than what the ordinance says they are.
In capacity.
In capacity.
Right.
And then don't forget with these barrels, we also went to a single stream recycling barrel, which really helped us a lot because we did single stream, and the totes, the previous little green totes that we had, those I truly believe they were a problem because when it rained or there was wind, it blew trash all over our streets. So this all went together. And at the same time, we're a pay-as-you-go community, so we had the green bags. So anybody that needed to throw more trash than what fit into their barrel could buy these bags. I believe they went up to $1.25. They were $1 before.
Right.
So now they went up to $1.25, which isn't a lot because
Well, it was 5 in a package for $5. Now it's 4 in a package.
Yes.
Yeah.
So but you can fit a lot into these barrels.
Into the trash bags.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can.
absolutely,
Almost
yeah.
the same as the barrel.
Yep.
We did this. The city really studied this. I was able to go to multiple meetings with the DPW. One of the DPW directors, and we tried to learn from other communities that had converted to this system. So we tried to make the best decisions for Brockton, and once again, the mayor at the time, Mayor Carpenter, did the most important thing to him was that we didn't go up in cost on the residents and on their bills, on their trash bills. So things happen, things aren't perfect, but I'm going to tell you one thing, our streets look way better on trash day than they ever did.
Sure.
I know there were some issues, but in the beginning, but we're an average family, and I have to tell you, I know exactly when it's recycled. When it's recycle week.
We all know the
Cycle, so
recycling and trash schedules today. That's for sure. Well, that's interesting, because the perception because of the visual site of the trash receptacle versus other communities is what drives that. And then when you're paying for a $1.25 for a trash bag because of overflow, it's a problem. But that $1.25 for each trash bag avoids additional costs to the city. As I understand, the trash is part of an enterprise fund. It's a self-serving, self-paying situation.
Yes, it is. And just I'd like to comment on that because, we talk about Brockton and the services we have, but I was in Situate or it was down towards Situate, and Situate has the same size barrels that Brockton has. I don't know if they have the overflow with the, I didn't see any
Right,
bags, but I'm like, if it's good enough for Situate, I think Brockton can deal with it. But it is an enterprise fund, but and it just pays for itself. We
correct,
cannot profit. The city does not profit from any
And neither
income.
does the trash,
No.
because theoretically, the cost of that additional overflow trash in that bag is being supplemented by the cost of the trash bag itself, as we
Yes,
understand.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Small business owners have expressed their frustration over the process of getting their projects approved in a timely fashion. Primary concerns tend to deal with the length of time it takes to get approvals from the different departments and boards, which has resulted in some businesses considering relocating their businesses to other towns. What can the city do to help change this process?
So as far as the city, I can tell you what I can do as a city councilor and what I have been doing. When I get an investor or somebody that wants to come in and start a business in the city that contacts me, I answer their calls. I'm right there with them depending on what board they're going before, whether it's planning, zoning, site plan review, traffic. That's how I believe I'm helpful to them, help walk them through the process. And yes, things happen, but sometimes their application isn't complete. Sometimes, it's a zoning matter. But I've made it's very important to me that I'm there with them throughout the process, that I let them know where the city is, offer them customer service. I'm not saying I hold their hand, but there's a presence there on my end to make sure that they're getting their needs filled from the different departments, whether they need to go before planning, building department, whatever department they need to go before the city. So that's what I've been doing. I would like to see the city, I know the city has made changes throughout the last few years. The process is getting easier with filling applications online, going before. It's difficult to say because last year was a very unique year.
There were no meetings
there
to go to.
So, but
Right, yeah.
now that things are, when things are moving, correctly, and it's our job to offer customer service, and I do that by being a presence, by letting them know that we're listening to them, and not every business is what I want in my ward, but I know it's very important to me that I don't just say no from day one, that we work together. I have meetings for the community to come, residents to meet with business owners. I've done that with numerous projects in the ward where in the beginning residents are really opposed to a project, but once they meet with a developer or somebody that's coming in, they relook at it. Actually, I've seen developments that have made huge changes to accommodate
Based
the
upon
residents.
community input.
Yes, one of them is
Okay.
the Cumberland Farms up on Oak Street. There was a lot of opposition from some of the residents across the street, and they made huge changes to their plans for them.
Well, thank you. One last question, because we got about a minute and a half left. Is currently the city council is elected every 2 years. Does the city need to consider changing the election cycle to every 4 years? And would you support the changing of council positions from what is perceived as a part-time to more of a full-time role?
I definitely agree. It should be, the term is too short because no sooner are you elected, you're campaigning again. And I actually had spoken to our clerk. I've been for a few years now to change the process, and it would have to be 4 years, which some people believe that's too long. But I definitely think 2 years is too short.
Okay.
A lot of things don't get done in an election year because people are
And
campaigning.
an election year is every other year.
Every other year. So definitely, and I've tried. I'll work with colleagues to get that changed. I think it has to go through a home rule petition to do that. And as far as, I think the last part of it is full-time.
Full-time, yes.
Full-time, definitely. Actually, it is a full-time job. It's a full-time, I answer my phone 24/7. You want to be available for the residents, but I mean, the pay is minimal. Nobody does this for the money. But it definitely would be, I would like to be somewhat like Boston, but, the pay is nowhere going to be near Boston. But we are, the councils that do the job right are doing this full-time.
Full-time. All right. 30 seconds, closing statement. Look at your camera and
Well, thank you again. Thank you to BCA, and I'd like to ask the residents of Ward 7 to please, on November 2nd, go out and vote Shirley Asack for Ward 7 City Council. I need your vote. We need to get reelected. I don't have any special interests. My only interest is you, the resident, and my love for the community really keeps me moving forward, wanting the city of Brockton to do well and to flourish, and that's what I hope for. So I hope you will reelect me November 2nd, okay. Shirley Asack.
All right, Shirley, thank you for taking your time for coming in today. And on behalf of all of us here at BCA, we want to thank you for viewing these programs today. Don't forget to get out and vote Tuesday, November 2nd. Thank you.